Celine, what is your assessment of the fact that we have over 300 rockets now fired? These are all Islamic Jihad rockets. And Hamas, whether because of pressure from Egypt or the Qatari money or because of these negotiations with Israel, Hamas is staying on the sideline. They've stayed on the sideline. What do you make of that? What does it mean for the future of what's happening inside Gaza?
Okay, it is indeed one of the important points about this escalation. It is the distinction between Islamic Jihad and Hamas, and they have different mode of operation and they have different motivations. Now, Hamas, as the leader of Gaza, wants to maintain control over the Gaza Strip. This comes with responsibility towards the population. Islamic Jihad does not have this kind of responsibility. It comes also with the fact that it has a more heavier price to pay if we go to war, which is also not the case for the Islamic Jihad.
Is Hamas risking losing legitimacy with the people if they stay on the sidelines? Because now the death toll is up to 22. According to Palestinian media reports, there are several children, unfortunately, who are killed as collateral damage. There are some non-combatants who are being killed. The death toll keeps going up. At some point, does Hamas have a big risk if they don't get involved?
No, there is a dilemma for them, certainly. They are genuinely interested in return to quiet because they don't want to be on the spot. But again, they can be dragged by the Islamic Jihad into aligning themselves with them because they don't want to be seen as a collaborator with Israel. And the days to come will determine whether the Hamas will be strong enough to keep the upper hand on the developments and in a way force the Islamic Jihad to return to quiet under the mediation of the Egyptian. That's definitely part of the challenge in the coming days.
Back now in studio, Celine, as desperate as the situation is for 2 million people in Gaza, there has been, as Yitzhak is referring to, a new dynamic with Hamas, especially in relationship with Israel. There is a ceasefire in place, Hamas trying to preserve it, and they get a lot of money from Qatar. What role could that have in keeping Hamas in power, and why aren't we seeing better humanitarian conditions then, since they're getting so much money every month from Qatar?
Well, they are getting a lot of money, but it's still a band-aid, and it does not address the core problems that have contribute to the fragility of the situation in Gaza. And Hamas is still in a very difficult position, and basically it has sought for the last 2 or 3 years to kind of free itself from the burden of handling Gaza's civilian affairs and to enter into power-sharing arrangements with the Palestinian Authority with the support of Egypt primarily. Now, this has failed, mostly because the PA has declined that responsibility. It does not want to play that role. And I think that's one of the reasons that it doesn't want to enter in a situation where it has nothing to win, basically, as all the political credit for any amelioration of the situation in Gaza will go to Hamas. And now it's the challenge for Israel in that respect. Who do we want to empower? Do we want to empower Hamas, or do we want to give a chance to that Egyptian plan that will pave the way for a gradual return of the Palestinian Authority to Gaza? Yes, it's not long-term in the 10 years plan. It's something that can bring a change to the situation there, also in the coming 6 months to 1 year.
I want to go now to